today I'm going to tell you the story of beautiful Mae Nak, or Lady Nak. It's a love story, it's a horror story, and it's a classic Thai ghost story that is told and retold even today. So lean back, grab a lime, and let me tell you the story of Mae Nak. It was the 18th or 19th century, when a beautiful young woman called Lady Nak lived happily together with her husband close to the Phra Khanong Canal in Bangkok's Phra Khanong district. Lady Nak soon became pregnant, but before the little family could welcome their new member, Mak was conscripted to the army and had to leave to fight in a war. In battle he was injured and brought back to Bangkok to be treated in a hospital in the city center. Lady Nak did know none of this, and at the moment she had more urgent matters at hand, because she went into labor. And then one of the worst tragedies of humankind occurred. Mother and child died during childbirth. They were buried at the Wat Mahabut cemetery, but their story doesn't end there. In Thai folklore, it is well known that women who die during childbirth can become a vengeful kind of ghost called Thang
Klom
or
Thang Klom.
And these ghosts are full of anger and sorrow, for neither themselves nor their child had a chance to fulfill their dreams and desires. But Lady Nak was not vengeful at first. Before she went into labor, she had missed her husband Mak very much. And when she went into labor, she missed him even more. She wanted him to be at her side. So she came back.
You're back!
She came back to her home with her child in her beautiful human form. And there she took care of all the daily chores a stay-at-home mom has to take care of. And her neighbors, they knew she was a ghost, and they knew what kind of ghost she was, and they were terrified. So they hired monks, and they hired even an exorcist to get rid of her. But Lady Nak did not move. She came back to be reunited with her husband, and that is what she intended to do. So she waited for her beloved Mak every day, until finally he came home. He too had missed his wife, and he was desperate to meet his newborn child, and he was overjoyed when he finally took them in his arms. But something was off. Everything was perfect, except one thing. His neighbors. They acted strange. They didn't come over to greet him. They didn't even say hello. But he didn't know what to make of this. And finally, one day, when Mak went out for chores and he was a good way away of his home, he met one of his neighbors. And finally, they told him, "Your wife is not your wife. Your child is not your child. They are both dead. These creatures at your home are ghosts, and even worse, they are the most frightful kind." Mak was taken aback. He would know if his wife and child were ghosts. They are alive, of course. He spends every day with them. And then he thought, I know what's going on. The neighbors are jealous because Lady Nak is a great beauty and his child is so healthy. So he dismissed them and went on his merry way. Until one day when everything changed. Lady Nak was a bit absent-minded that day. She was preparing a chili sauce called nam prik. She dropped the lime she needed to cut for the sauce, and the lime rolled down the porch, and it rolled, and Lady Nak stretched out her arm to catch it before it could touch the ground. She stretched her arm until it covered the whole length of the porch, 1 meter, 2 meters, and then she got it. She caught the lime. And Mak saw this. He saw what happened, and then he knew his neighbors were right. His wife was a ghost with a lime, but he played it cool in front of her.
All right!
Because he was afraid. He was very afraid. If his wife was a Thang Klom kind of ghost, he was toast if he wasn't careful. He waited until night fell and everyone was tucked away in their beds and was fast asleep. Only then, he very carefully, very silently snuck out of the house. And when he was out of the house, he ran. Lady Nak long feared that this day or night would come. When she woke up and saw the empty place next to her, she knew what had happened, and she ran after her husband. She ran fast. She finally found him hiding in a blumea bush, because everyone knows that ghosts hate their sticky leaves. Lady Nak was furious. The absurdity. She was his wife. She loved him. He loved her. What was he doing hiding in a bush? But Mak only wanted to get away from her. He waited for the right moment and then he dashed onto the holy grounds of the temple of Wat Mahabut. Poor Lady Nak couldn't follow him. It was impossible for ghosts to enter these holy grounds. Lady Nak didn't know what to do. And finally the sadness and the anger about the death of herself and her child overwhelmed her, and it turned into rage. She wanted revenge. Revenge for all the losses she had to suffer, for the destruction of her happy life with Mak. And then she knew where she had to go. These damn nosy neighbors who couldn't keep their mouths shut. She would show them. So she returned to the Phra Khanong canal and terrorized the neighborhood. The neighbors, of course, were scared to death. So they went to the temple and asked for help. And this time, a young capable monk of the name of Somdesh To came and helped to solve the situation once and for all. He approached Lady Nak with a calm, loving compassion. And then there are different versions of how the story ends. In one version, the monk manages to trap Lady Nak in an earthen pot that is sealed tight and thrown into the canal where it is until today. In another version, the monk traps Lady Nak in the bone of her own forehead, and then the monk continues to wear the bone on his waistband. In a more humanistic version, the monk guides Lady Nak through her suffering and assures her that she will be united with her love Mak in the afterlife. Finally, Lady Nak can let go and moves on. The monk then exhumes the body of Lady Nak, cremates it, and then he carves an amulet out of the bone of her forehead that is now, presumably, in the possession of the Thai royal family. The story of Lady Nak. Mae Nak herself are hugely popular, and her shrine at the Wat Mahabut temple is testament to this. So right there, where this story supposedly happened, you can go and visit Mae Nak and ask for her help, especially if you don't want to be drafted into the military or you want good luck for your own childbirth. Then what you have to do is bring an offering. Flowers, you can bring her fancy dresses, toys for the baby, or you go with the classic fruits and incense sticks. And these you offer to her and then you pray. And the exact words you should use for your prayer are written down on signs in front of the statue. The temple complex where the shrine for Lady Nak is situated is a fascinating area. We have the shrine for her, of course, as well as minor shrines for other deities, and the Wat Mahabut temple. And next to the temple, there is a school. So you have this mixture of monks, street vendors, visitors, and school kids all hanging around. And this gives the place a really lovely aliveness that is really unique, I think. And if you want, you can even buy birds or fish and let them free in honor of Mae Nak and make a wish. And who knows, maybe she hears you and helps you out. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the story of Mae Nak, and I see you next time with a different story in a different place. And I see you next time in a different place with a different story. Thank you very much.